everybody. How you doing out there? Welcome back to America is back once again at Monday, 10 p.m. on Strong Island Television. Thanks for checking us out. We love seeing you. Of course, as always,
Danka, nice to see you.
Millie Micheals is back after a sabbatical. She was away last week. She doesn't want to talk about why she was away.
I went to Germany.
Yeah, she went to Germany. We got Germany this week. We got a couple of interviews. We got Jeff Hess, who is a clown out in Germany, but not the kind of clown that like you're thinking with all the makeup. He's so incredibly talented, amazing clowning.
Like Mr. Bean.
Like Mr. Bean, very Mr. Bean-like. That's good. That's a good comparison. And we also got Gauri B, who is down in Berlin, Germany. Down in Germany also, all the way from India. So they're both very funny. Looking forward to those interviews. But first, from Millie Micheals.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go over Germany.
Oh,
you have, you brought beer. Did you only bring one? We're going to say.
Well, it's German beer.
It's light. It's a German light German beer. That's not a.
Do you want some?
I don't want. I mean, we're going to share a beer. That's all you have is one.
I have a Mexican beer.
All right. I mean, I'll have a Mexican beer to celebrate the German episode if I just to have my own beer. Of course. Yeah. Sure. Wow, no one's ever poured me a beer before. It's a
German thing to do.
It's going to overflow.
I'm good.
Wow.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers. All right.
Look at my eyes. Look.
Oh, right.
Oh,
right,
cheers.
Nice. You have to look in each other's eyes because you have to know whether someone poisoned the drink or not. So thank you for joining us on our Germany episode. Millie, you did a lot of research about Germany, right?
I did. I love Germany. I love the accent. You know? German accent is beautiful to me.
Yeah, it's very strong.
Strong but nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, I do Italian with the German.
What do we got for Germany today?
Germany, comrade. Germany is a country divided into 16 states. Yes. Beautiful. Look at that. Surrounded.
It is lovely. Is it actually that color?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
The land is made up of black forests and woodlands. Black forests and woodlands.
Is that what it's made of?
Yeah.
Pictures right there.
There it is. And blah, blah, blah,
there's
blah,
a
blah, blah,
Black
blah.
Forest picture.
You know why I say blah, blah, blah? Because when people hear about Germany, even the Germans, they know everybody's listening to Hitler. Yeah.
Hitler's always...
Yes.
He looks like he's singing karaoke in that picture. Like maybe he's singing everlasting love. and he forgets the lyrics but everyone pretends he still knows them.
Feelings.
I did feeling. Yeah, that'd be fun. That's more like Japanese. But
So now Germany changes their capitals. That's funny. Just like underwear, old underwear, they changed it this year since 1990. Actually, it's Berlin. Berlin actually is twice they were picked. Because Berlin has a perfect fit, you know, for the Gentiles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
We don't want to get too much into that. That's very political.
In Germany, food is cheaper than the beer. Next, no picture, Bobby. There's the wet meat that they like. I make with the wet meats, pot roast and potatoes. That's
Did
very.
You never say wet meat ever again?
No, that's with the family. We call that wet meat with the potatoes, and we have it with cabbage. It's delicious. Now they love sausage so much that they have a 24/7 access to a vending machine.
Sausage.
You can get bratwurst and potato salads and schnitzel.
Imagine waking up at 3 a.m. and you're like, oh my God, I got to get a bratwurst. I got to get it now. Go to the vending machine. Get it.
I think that's awesome.
They're pre-cooked.
Yes. No, I don't think they are. But in Bavaria, beer is officially a food. My Aunt Katie would like that.
I hope they've dignified cream as a food too, because I love me some Bavarian cream pie.
Yes, and so look at that beer. Yum.
In fact, I want a beer that tastes like Bavarian cream.
Cheers. Yes. So now what happens, what's also popular in Germany is the Bavarian pretzel, which they wear around their neck with a string, because who can hold 2 containers of beer and eat the pretzel?
It's a nexel.
It's a nexel, exactly. The pretzel is a nexel.
It almost looks like something out of the Scarlet Letter where they gave her the A because she was an adulterer.
Yes.
And this is like to signify you're adulterer. You're
Yes.
adulterer, just like.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
very nice. Okay. Well, do you know that in Munich, Bavaria, is known for Oktoberfest? They've been
Of course.
celebrate. Look how magical that looks. They've been celebrating that since 1810, and of course, it's where people for 17 days consume mass quantities of beer.
They just drink and drink and drink.
Yeah, and
until,
come on, 17 days. I think it's actually 365 days.
You'd have to be that drunk to wear that much lederhosen. I mean, you got to be drunk to wear lederhosen. I wouldn't even know how to put it on.
That's not true. When you're drunk, you can wear anything.
Cheers!
Yes, in my eyes.
Even
Look
though
at my
Germans
eyes.
don't say cheers, they say something else, probably like "God."
Danke.
Yes.
Danke. They say one more. So now comedy is almost alive and well in Berlin.
It's not alive and well here.
Look how fun these German people are. I love them right there.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
they look like they're having a good time.
For $16, they get into the show, they get a pizza, and they get a shot.
Oh.
Just like New York comedy clubs where you pay $75 to see the show and a 2-drink minimum.
Yeah. What, by shot, do you mean vaccine shot? They get injected?
Possibly.
Okay.
Or a shot in the face.
Or shot in the face.
But you get it for free.
You pick it out of
it's
a hat.
included.
Shot to the face?
Yes. Now, news in Germany is just what the hell is going on in Germany. That's the news. At 14 years old, you're allowed to drink beer and wine as long as you're with your parents or you have a note.
I just love the idea of having a note to be allowed to... Please, Mr. Bartender, I'm allowed to drink as much as I want tonight because of the note signed Epstein's mom.
Yes, exactly. Well, at 16, you can drink beer and wine without a note, but you can go to the nightclubs and get into fights. Look how much fun at 16.
Look, that's the whole point of drinking is to either get into a fight or have sex. Like, what else do people drink for?
To relax.
It doesn't work like that. Drinking doesn't really relax you. Don't believe that. That's not true.
But at 18, DB, frick, you can do anything you pretty much want to at that time.
I'm 44 now, and I could do anything I want to.
Yes. Germany is very accommodating. Yes, DB, you could do whatever you want.
I look forward to going back.
You should go to Germany because public nudity is part of the German culture.
It's actually starting next week. It's going to be part of the next season of Welcome Back to America. Nudity.
I won't be here. Germany parks are full of people wearing only hats and reading tabloids. I would think the beer played a part in this situation. Cheers!
German!
This is the most delicious dinner I've ever had.
Oh, God, I'm so glad I had that because I haven't had anything else to eat today.
65% of highways in Germany are autobahns, which is a federally controlled access highway with a speed limit of whatever.
Yeah, just go 250
go
miles per hour. There are some cars that go that fast, and as per my research, 3,300 people die every year on the Autobahn, and there are 300,000 injuries in accidents.
That is crazy.
300,000. That's like, how much? That's 1,000 a day, almost.
And this is why they have free university, because they want to replenish the youth. They need to change the speed limit on the Autobahns.
Yeah. The reason college is free in Germany is because no one should pay for knowledge.
Why am I English today?
Well, they were there too. They live near the English.
So, yeah. Okay, so now in Germany, this is a good point you might want to listen to. In Germany, there is no punishment for prisoners who escape jail.
Oh, interesting. So you can try to break out as many times as you want.
I would do that every day.
Yeah, why wouldn't you always constantly be planning for a breakout?
Exactly.
It just seems like
Because
it makes sense.
They don't care. They're like, oh, okay, it's human nature. Also, I just want to say that Germans also feel that waterboarding is not that bad.
Right. Well, that's how I got this job, waterboarding.
Wow. I'm
Yeah.
glad I missed that day. I have a couple of German jokes that I found.
Oh, German jokes. I look forward to this.
Yes. What did the German kid say when he pushed his brother off the cliff? Look, mother, no Hans.
No Hans.
What do you call an upset German? Sauerkraut.
That's borderline racist.
Wait a second. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
We ask the questions.
That's funny.
That's my jokes.
That's great. Millie, thank you for all that work.
Oh, you're
so
welcome.
much.
Cheers.
Learned so much about Germany tonight. Stay tuned. After these messages, we got Jeff Hess, Gauri B coming up. Great interviews. Germany. Next week, it's Tucson, Arizona.
I just want to say that they feel it's rude to laugh and talk loudly in public. So it's another place New Yorkers are not welcome.
Oh, cheers!
Cheers!
Yes, finish these. Chug.
I'm on the vegetables.
We're not stopping the show till you finish that.
Oh, I just had a potato.
Do you have a potato in your beer?
Yes, it's dinner.
Thanks for checking out the show. We'll see you soon.
Danke.
God damn it, Millie! Why do you always embarrass me all the time?
You finished it. Good for you.
Oh, we're still on? Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out Welcome Back to America this week. As you well know, we have Germany came up this week, and we're learning a lot about Germany and the comedy scene in Germany. So on Welcome Back to America this week, we have a comedian out of Berlin. She's very funny. Watched a couple of videos of hers. She's got a great personality. And I look forward to talking to her for the next 20 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, Gauri B, out from Berlin.
Hello.
How are you doing? Thank you so much for doing this. I think it's nighttime by you now, or at least coming up on nighttime, although it looks like the sun's out, honestly. But
Living light.
yeah. You are a comedian. You're from India and you live in Germany now. How long have you lived in Germany?
4 years now.
4 years. What is it that first got you on stage to do comedy? What pushed you to want to perform either on camera, in front of people? What was it?
It's such a weird story. It's like, because I was about 21 years old, and I was doing an internship in Munich, and I came all the way from India to Germany just to do this internship. And I made a friend in office, and she asked me to come to this women empowerment conference, okay, like super serious, and all the women were like in their late 30s to 40s, super established women in high positions. So it was like they were dressed so nice and elegant and, very top notch. And I just came there, just an intern who was sweating and just wanted to get drunk in a bar later, not caring. And so I don't know, I just went there, and now the host of this conference, right, he's giving everybody tasks to do. So the task was that everyone had to come to the stage for 2 minutes and introduce themselves. And he was going around in a circle. We were all seated in a circle, and he was going around. And then, like, by the time my turn came or was about to come, I already had like an introduction ready in my head. Like, okay, I'm going to say this is going to be super easy, nice. But then he picked me and he said, okay, now from you, we are going to change it completely. I'm just going to randomly give you a word, and you have to speak for 2 minutes on this topic. And then I was like, fuck, like I just prepared this nice speech, and like, what's going to happen now? So he gave me a word, and the word was called fear. So I had to speak for 2 minutes about my fears. And I don't know, I got so nervous and I just like randomly started talking. I talked about how I am so scared of the receptionist in our office because she's like super big and huge, and I'm super tiny, right? And she also has like the kind of face that you do not want receptionists to have, because she's super like this all the time, and it just gave me the chills, and I was just narrating the whole story, and somehow everybody started laughing. Like, it was like laugh, 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 laugh. And then after the show, the dude just came to me and he said, please don't get offended, but have you ever considered being a stand-up comedian? And like, obviously I was offended because I was like, I just opened up. I just told you my biggest vulnerability, and like, you think that I could be a comedian? What? And then, yeah, I mean, like, from then on, that thought was always there. And then I think next year I just went on stage, I just tried it, and I sucked. And then I tried it again. And I mean, and then it was just like super nice. Like, I think the first time I was super drunk, and then you always watch these comedians on Netflix and they're just killing it, right? Like, everything that comes out of their mouth is so funny, and you just think you're going to be like that. But obviously, like, the first time wasn't like that, but the second time it was so amazing. And then I don't know, I just never looked back. So yeah, it was.
How old were you at that point?
I was 21.
Okay. And when was the last time you got on a stage? I don't know how it is in Berlin, or what the restrictions are, or
Everything's closed. The comedy scene is like, it's been closed for since the pandemic started. They opened for a while for 3-4 months in the middle, which was in August. But comedy in Europe in the summer is dead because everybody wants to be outside because we have such a bad winter.
Right.
And so in the summer, nobody wants to be cooped up inside. So comedy here is like really starts from September and goes until August. That's the cycle. September to, not August, I'm sorry, September to March or April until summer. And so I did, anyway, the last time I did it was in September.
Okay. Now, you said you moved to Munich first. You went to school out there, or you got an internship out there. What was that internship that you did?
Architecture. So I'm an architect, and that was an architecture internship, yeah.
Okay, so you built, you're an architect. That's kind of amazing. I think if there was an apocalypse, the people that I would need first are architects and engineers. That's who, everybody else, you don't need anybody else. Those are the people you need. Give me architects and engineers. And that's,
yeah, probably, yeah.
That's where you got to start from. That's awesome and that's what you do in Berlin now too, out there.
Yeah, I got into media eventually, and then now I basically do design and media. So like social media and stuff like that. So right now I'm managing the social media of an architecture company.
Tell me about the social media that you run for your comedy. You have 2 sites, I believe, Toxic Girlfriend and That's So Ho, or something of that nature. Tell me about those. What's the difference between them, and where are you coming from? What are you trying to do with those?
So I started in the pandemic, because I think every comedian was like looking for ways to express themselves because we were banned from, like, we couldn't access stages. And That's So Ho is actually my Instagram username. And Toxic Girl Therapy is a web series that I run on That's So Ho. So it's like the same page. It's called Toxic Girl Therapy. And it's basically reverse psychology, because I give advice on how to spice up your relationship, or how to tell somebody you like them, but it's always toxic. And so it's like people can identify, oh, that's something I do and it's super toxic, but it's like funny because because I'm not telling them, oh, don't do it. And I'm like, yeah, do it. Do that.
People maybe recognize something within themselves, and people usually laugh when they feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, because I just feel like none of us is perfect. And like, there's this phenomena right now, like toxic positivity. You have to be perfect. You have to be like, just cut off from toxic people. But it's like toxic people are not born toxic, right? Like, there's
Right.
some traumas that they have that makes them behave that way, and it's just like sometimes hard to be a toxic person, and we all do it. So it's just like therapy in the sense of like, okay, identifying toxic behaviors within yourself, because I feel like if you can laugh about it, that means you've accepted it, that you are like that, and once you've accepted it, it's probably easier to change.
Yes. First, you got to know it's there. That's
Yeah.
that's probably the biggest part, and then once you get there, you can probably get through the other steps more easily. Most people don't know that what they've done is toxic, but I look forward
Yeah.
to checking that out. It is amazing what's come out of the pandemic and how much media is out there and how many videos there are to watch all the time. I'm trying to cut myself off from it a little bit. It
No,
gets
you're right. I mean, because I also like it's so there. I think the social media can suck you in so fast, especially if you're a creator, because now you're not just aimlessly scrolling. You posted something and you want a response. As a comedian, you're looking for the laughs. So it's
right.
like the number of likes you get, the number of comments, the number of shares. It's like your whole, like, you start to judge yourself on the basis of how many people are watching and interacting your stuff, and which is just crazy.
Yes, and it's that same concept that has led to a huge rise in the suicide rate of girls between like the ages of 10 and 13 in the United States. That whole aspect of needing those likes and not getting that love or those dopamine hits in the head, really. That's really what it is.
That is what it is. You're addicted, like you, yeah.
Even
So
now, while we're talking, I'm thinking sometimes I'm on my phone and I'm like, I wonder where my phone is. Or I'll be on Facebook and I'm like, oh, I've got to make a phone call. Where's that's right. It's right here. I do that pretty often.
yeah.
I have a couple of these. They're a little different kind of questions, a little less serious. If you could have any superhero power, what would that superhero power be? What would you do for the world or yourself?
I would just like to read people's minds. I think that's like the superpower, and then
Yeah.
probably be able to alter it, right? Like read it and then change what Kelly is thinking right now.
That's a really interesting way to go with that. That's almost like an episode of The Twilight Zone. That could be an interesting episode of The Twilight Zone. I like that concept.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I think that would be so cool.
To
Like, just give
change,
me
to
right
get
now.
into, to get in
Sorry.
people's minds and change what they're thinking. That's one of the better answers I've heard. I've heard other people say read minds, but I think that's sort of what The Shadow did. That's The Shadow is a cartoon comic book from like the 1930s, 1920s,
Yeah,
and sort of like a Batman type thing. But
yeah.
he would be like a shadow, and he'd like get into your mind somehow. And
And
like
just, yeah. What is the like weirdest answer that somebody gave to this question so far? Or like
um,
I don't
the
know.
the last guy, said that, and he's a comedian out of Texas. He said that he he would like the superhero power to see tits anytime that he can. That,
Men.
yeah, no, like what a waste of a superpower. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's great, but it's a like you could do so much good for the world. Talk about dopamine hits all the time.
Tit hits. He's into getting titillating superpowers.
You even added the word tit in there again. Um, if you were on the run with lots of money and you were being chased by police or someone who wants to get you, where would you hide and where would you hide the money?
Wow. I would hide in a place where they would. I'm on the run. So, like, are they chasing me right now, or are they just
Yes.
looking for me? They're
They're looking
chasing
for
me.
you. You're being chased. There are people that are looking for you, and you're being chased. Yes.
Okay. I would probably hide the money in a place where nobody would look, like probably in like a dumpster, like a dumping ground on
Okay.
huh?
Sure, I could see that maybe working. I like that.
Yeah, like probably dumpster they clear out, but a place where you dump stuff like a sofa, blah blah, and like just in the thing. I hope they don't burn it though.
Right,
That's
you hope they don't move it, like, because the dump is stuff constantly has stuff moved. But I like that. Good answer. I wrote that down so that I know if that ever happens to you, I know where to look for the money.
Is that why? Is that what this podcast is about? It's just basically you
Yeah.
trying to collect data on the money that you
Wouldn't
have.
that be great? Wouldn't that? There is so much data to be collected out there too, constantly. Everything. I was just thinking about how I'm going to sign out of like 15 different subscriptions to things that I have, and it takes so long. It's so long, and you have to disconnect your credit card or your bank account, depending on which one you. So frustrating. Anyway, enough about what annoys me. What doesn't annoy you? What annoys you, Gauri?
Chewing noises. Recently, yeah.
Like
Is
gum?
that how Americans say it? Do you pronounce it like chewing? Chewing.
Yeah, no, I knew exactly what you meant.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would say it. Chewing like like a gum or a meal, like people are eating. Like, is that true?
Yeah. Who chews gum?
I don't. I haven't chewed gum in a long time.
Like gum is like not chewable. It's like you just have to like swallow. That's the word. You swallow gum. Swallowing gum is also pretty annoying for me, actually, if you talk about it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've never swallowed gum. I just always, when I was a kid, I would chew on it.
Chew gum. Yeah. No, because recently in lockdown, because my boyfriend and I are together all the time, right? And like we are both working from home, and so I just like noticed sometimes he's just like I just put on the TV show that we are watching on like extreme loud, so like I don't have to hear the chewing noises, and he's like, can you please turn that down? And I'm like, I don't know, if you can chew a little bit like less loud, like the TV volume can come down. It's just enough to like overpower your chewing noises. Yeah.
I did know someone like that when I was in high school who couldn't like be around other people while they were eating. Like it made her feel so uncomfortable that she had to leave.
It's like pretty sociopathic if you like talk about it. It's like very antisocial personality disorder kind of a situation.
When you would go on stage and do stand-up, and you are a stand-up comedian too, in addition to doing the sketches, what kind of material would you do? What kind of material does someone in Germany do? What kind of things do they laugh at?
Well, I mean, one material is obviously because Berlin is pretty international and we have a great English comedy scene here. So people who like for immigrants, the one material is making fun of Germans, it's like, because Germans are like a completely other species than the rest of the world. So when you go in a comedy club and there is a joke about like Germans being Germans, I feel like the entire world from all the other nationalities sort of unite because now they get to laugh at like Germans. So like that's a big hit. I don't do that so much. It's also very generic. I talk a lot about my experiences as an Indian woman here, but again, not stereotypes, but I don't know, like talk about race. I talk about domestic violence. I talk about women.
You have jokes about domestic violence?
Sorry?
You have jokes about domestic violence?
Yeah, I'm. It's a very dark. I do sort of dark comedy. It's like how people call it. They're like, "Oh, she's pretty dark," and it's about abortion, for example, healthcare, pedophiles. Do I have something that's not offensive?
Well, I'm not looking. What are some of the comedy clubs like out there? Do you go up? Do you do a scene out there? Like, is there a comedy club scene in Germany?
Yeah, there's a huge comedy club scene in Berlin. I mean, if you wanna do shows here, you can do 20, 25 shows per week if you want. There's like every day there's at least 3, 4 shows happening, which is like just the perfect amount because like for example in New York and in UK, it's so oversaturated. But over here you have very good shows running and just the right amount of comedians. So yeah.
Where can people specifically go to check you out? I think you already mentioned the websites and Instagram, but say them again for the audience.
So my Instagram is that's so ho. So it's like S is double. That's so ho.
H-O-E. H-O-E.
H-O-E ho. And I'm on YouTube with the same name. Twitter, same name. Yeah, that's basically me.
That's
you
great.
can also like check the hashtag toxic girl therapy if you like.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to check that out. I really appreciate you taking the time to come down and talk with us on Welcome Back to America today. So I hope we talk again soon. I'd like to hopefully see you in New York or see you in Germany doing comedy sometime soon. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. And can I just say one thing? You remind me of this comedian called, and I'm forgetting his name. He's on SNL. And
Right now? He's on SNL now?
He's on SNL now. He's like the super tall, lanky dude. What's he called again?
Pete Davidson?
Pete Davidson. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. I've never been told that. I get Tim Curry a lot.
No, it's like for me, as soon as I see your face and your voice and the way that you talk, it's like, is that Pete Davidson?
We're somewhat from similar areas. Like the accents would be similar, so I get that.
And also the face.
I appreciate that. I guess that's somewhat a compliment. He does do shows nearby here, like about.
Wow,
He occasionally comes from Manhattan and does shows at a place called Governor's a couple of times a year. I look forward to talking again soon. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll be back right after these commercials. Please stay tuned for them. So I want to keep the show on. If you don't watch the commercials, we're going to get canceled. All right. Thanks. Check out Welcome Back to America. That's Gauri. That's Gauri B. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to America. It's DB Frick. I'm here tonight with a great guy. He's out in Germany right now. As you well know, tonight's theme is Germany and the entertainment industry at large. This guy works in a lot of festivals. And he out in Europe, he likes to do a lot of variety shows. He has a background in clowning and a lot of performance. He was spent time studying in New York City, and we're going to talk a lot about all that he has done. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Hess.
That's me.
That is you.
Hey, DB Frick, nice
Hey.
to see you, man.
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you in person. I was really glad that our mutual friend Jeff pulled us together here and
Me too.
helped make this happen, because I'm trying to get all around the world and get perspectives from different people about their performance in the place that they are. I'm really looking forward to hearing about what it's like in Germany on whatever level you're open to talking about. Firstly, we'd like to start out with knowing, what was it that first made you want to get on stage? Who was it? What was the incident? What was the performance that first got you up there? I'd love to hear about that.
Well, it's a good question. I think I have an interesting and unusual background in that I started the first day of the 10th class of high school. I had been doing a lot of sports as a young guy. I had fast legs and good moves, so I enjoyed doing sports, but I didn't grow, and everybody else did. So I had a year off, not knowing what the heck I was interested in high school, and I landed in a theater class. And the very first day, life changed right there. I was totally charged, charmed, and excited by the theater. The idea of all these people working together to create an entertainment source for people really turned me on, and I got totally charged to be an actor. After that, studied a lot of acting, started studying on my own to be a pantomime, a clown, going out on the streets, just making wacky stuff.
You were a busker. You were a busker.
I was a busker, basically, but eventually I kind of moved on from busking, not liking the whole idea of having your money dependent on the depth of a hat. So I started really making shows in schools, performing for students. And somewhere along the line, I realized the teachers were laughing even harder than the kids. So I started focusing more on comedy for adults or children of all ages. And,
where did you grow up?
I grew up in Denver, Colorado, and that bolstered that sport life that I was into.
Right.
Lots of skiing on the Colorado mountains and all kinds of cool adventures. And Denver is a really friendly place, so that I think that really gave me a great launching pad as well. Playing on the streets of Denver, people were really open and willing to play with me as I improvised with people. And that just started really creating a bravado in me and excitement to push people to other limits. I moved to Germany after coming here twice, first time on a tour. And that was the first opportunity I got to really play my own stuff for German audiences in a variety night where there'd be all kinds of different things, and people were really hungry for comedy. I noticed right away. And after playing, the producer called me the next day and said, "Everybody wants to know who you are." So I suddenly realized, wow, there's an interest for my loony sense of humor.
How long have you been in Germany?
I've been in Germany now 25 years after chasing a lady here. I was living in Los Angeles the last couple of years and had a chance meeting with a German girl. And after 2 weeks, we were nuts about each other. So I came over, visited, thought, what the hell? New life, new love, new excitement.
And where in
Germany? Started playing in North Germany in all kinds of different venues.
And where are you in North Germany again?
I live in Oldenburg, which is a provincial city outside of Bremen, or about 2 hours from Hamburg, which is probably better known to Americans.
Yes, I do know Hamburg. I'm probably about a third German. My family came from Germany like before the war. They moved out of Germany and went to Holland but like was originally France. My name, like hundreds of years ago, it's France, but
Yeah,
it's from all over. You know, Mamat. You know how it is.
I do know how it is. My last name being Hess is an old German name. Could be Swiss, could be Austrian, but more than likely German. So
Right.
I've got German blood in my descendancy also, and people are always trying to dig up the information, but till now I haven't actually found the link of the line of where I come from. But I'm back in the hood anyway.
I love that. Have you had any shows in the last year? Have you done any productions during the pandemic? How has it been in Germany about getting out, and what are the restrictions now?
Well, on March 9th, I was in a big theater in Munich. We were rehearsing, putting everything together, got to the last hours of preparation, and our gala variety show was canceled just 3 hours before we were going to play. And that was the beginning of the pandemic scene. So, and my first realization that all the work was going to be canceled. So essentially after that, one job after another was canceled until the warm weather. Then I got a couple of events in the open air, meaning they set up a stage right out on a big field and filled it up with 250 chairs with a lot of social distance between each of the chairs. And I guess in July and August, I played about 6 shows in open air events, which is something I do every summer, something all the performers do for the most part. Even stand-up comedians will go out and do a set on an open air stage. It's a nice benefit of the German scene. It works quite well. And because of the pandemic, it was pretty exciting because people were already, after 5 months of being shut in or at least shut in away from entertainment sources, they were really excited to be in front of a stage and getting some entertainment. So we had some good fun. You could tell people were charged and excited, and it was fun. But for me, a challenge, because I tend to work really close up with people. I bring people on stage to play with me. One of my famous bits is a ping pong game with handmade paddles made out of a box and no ball. So it's the ball sound is made on my paddles, and the people kind of slowly realize what's going on. All they have to do is swing, and I animate the whole game.
How long is that piece? How long is that bit? I imagine
that bit is in general 10 to 15 minutes long.
Wow.
In the social distancing scene, it was a little bit shorter because I cut out all the situations where I would be close to my partner.
And you have
usually
to
I dress him up to look like me. He receives a red wig and glasses and a paddle, and then we get on the stage. So I set it up so he could put on his things himself, and we were distanced on the stage. And in the end, it worked extremely well. He got, like most guys, really into the game, starts turning into a kid in front of everybody, and starts playing this imaginary fantasy game that I've built.
I could see that as a bit that can build and build and build. As the physical, I could see the physical, it getting more physical as the piece goes along. And you said you're mostly a physical comedian, less much a clown, but more a physical comedian. Like when you do this bit, you don't put on clown makeup, and you're not in your generally understood as clown type of uniform.
Well, I enhance my face for sure. I darken my eyebrows. I have this little Zappa that I darken in so that it gives my face a little bit more definition. I put a little red on my cheeks and my nose, just mostly just to create more visualness. That show I just described, people were probably about 30 feet away from the stage. So generally I work in intimate spaces, and in open air, it tends to get quite a bit bigger. So I try to animate my face a lot so people can really keep up with it. That's one of my specialties. They call me a Grimassenmeister in Germany
Yes.
because I work a lot with my face. I have a rubber face.
Even looking on your Facebook page and your other social media, I'm looking at him and I'm like, that's the same guy? Is that really the same guy?
Yeah, that's one of my specialties, DB, because I started as an actor. So I play characters. Each of my numbers is a different character I've built. One is a real nerd, a totally high energy, almost alien-esque nerd. The next one is a mafioso who falls apart in front of the audience, finding the child inside of himself. By
Another
the
great way to build. Oh, and you're using the child thing again. The child piece is a part of the ping pong piece too.
Absolutely.
Child.
Childlike behavior is a giant part of what I do. And that's probably the clown that lives in me, bringing out the part of you that is totally unabashed, not shy to get crazy, be bizarre, be animated to a heightened level. That's my specialty. A lot of energy, a lot of animation.
What are some of the subjects that they really like to see in Germany, in performance or in comedy? What are the kind of subjects that really get an audience going?
Well, I think they really like what I do. They like something that's really highly animated. They like things that are games, something that they've never seen before. I'd have to say that the German public in general is open to almost every subject, every theme. They're really ready for just about anything. And comedians these days have to bring the gamut because there's so much different comedy. In Germany, you have a multicultural scene. So people coming from all countries, lots of Americans coming here, particularly in the summertime, playing these festivals. You've got, I'm introducing you to a South African guy, a guy from London, comedian who does all kinds of physical comedy as well, but mostly with objects, object manipulation. There's a lot of magic all over the scene. So magicians will create things from all kinds of subjects, all kinds of themes, whether it's mentalism, whether it's, again, object manipulation, where they're manipulating cards or coins, so everything works in this scene. Honestly, it's the power of the performer that is the degree of success. Do you connect to the public? Do you bring a personality that's charming or crazy or a form of lunacy that they've never seen before? I think that's what people are interested. They want to see different personalities. They want to hear comedy or see comedy that's developed from life subjects. Right now, I would imagine the stand-ups who are doing Zooms, they're using a lot of stuff direct from the pandemic. So subjects of all kinds work really well.
Well, I've found as a performer too, because I've done a lot of stand-up and improv, what this limits is physical. I can do a little, but I mean, have you tried to figure out ways that this medium that you can work in your physical in this medium?
Well, for sure. My work has adapted a lot in these 25 years. As I said, I developed a lot of my material many years ago, more for young people, trying to make them laugh with fantasy. And I've realized here that, in fact, every audience member is into that form of fantasy. They love to go into a world outside of theirs and lose themselves. They love to see people come out of the public and come up and play a fantasy game like my ping pong game, or the mafioso tries to blow a bubble that is also a pantomime, but it gets rather graphic. What I do with my face, trying to
Okay, yeah, sure.
to blow this thing out, to create a giant thing. So they like the graphic images. They like the fantasy. They want to go where you take them.
Now, your faces that you just made were like amazing in that I would imagine at first the muscles in your face like just hurt at first, like over time.
Sure.
Right here.
For sure. When I haven't played for a while, I have to make sure to do a lot of training to get my muscles back in shape. I do, like I said, this bubblegum number. I take nothing and put it in my mouth and try to chew it. So my tongue has got to be on a high level of musculature to do the number. So I've got to train it a lot.
Now, we were just talking about fantasy. I want to know, if you could have one superhero power, what would that superhero power be?
Oh, great question. It'd be cool to have superpowers, huh? I mean, that's what I do. I try to make the audience believe I have superpowers. They come up and want to know how do you do this with your face? So I'd like to be able to morph into different forms right in front of people. That would be a gas, to suddenly be a hippopotamus.
I love that.
Something like that. That would be
That's
a gas to suddenly
great.
change shapes, change forms. That would be my favorite.
Now, on a different note, if you were on the run from the law and you had a bag of money, where would you hide it, and where would you hide yourself?
I would hide it in a drum. I used to be a drummer, so I had a trap set in my basement. I used to put on headphones and play to the Who and Led Zeppelin and all of our old favorites from the 70s.
So you're a musician.
So I figure people wouldn't think to look inside a snare drum for a bag of money. That would be a good place to hide it.
I think that's great. I love that.
And maybe I would hide in the bass drum.
I love knowing that you're also a musician. That's not something we touched on at all, that you have a musicality, which isn't surprising given physically being musical. You're being musical physically, as I'm sure you've considered the notion.
Yeah, also cool question. Yeah.
Yeah. Where, in our last couple of minutes, where can people see you? Do you have anything coming up that you'd like to talk about? And also the painting behind you, is that yours? That's
a German painter, a good friend of mine in Hamburg. He did some really cool things, but this is one of my favorites, and it works well. Works well as a background. It's got this kind of void of depth.
Now, I just saw you look around. Are you surrounded by other pieces of artwork on the walls?
No, mostly here in my space. I have a lot of toys. Here's my toy cabinet from my kids.
Love that.
There's a board. Here's all my hats up on my armoire. I got a lot of hats. I got a lot of plants. I have a lot of, embarrassingly, a lot of photographs of myself.
Me too. Me too. My niece actually told me recently, she's like, it's weird that you have mostly pictures of yourself.
Well, I've played so many characters through the times. I used to, in New York, people hired me to create improvisational lunatic characters at theme parties. So they'd call me and say the theme is alien, and so I created an alien nerd named Murgatroyd, who always comes up. Yeah, Murgatroyd. Yeah. So I have a lot of my old photographs just to remind me of the old days of the things that I used to do.
In our last minute, again, are there websites people can go see your stuff? Like, I would love to watch the ping pong video if there's one that exists.
Yeah. You can go onto YouTube. The Jeff Hess is my YouTube page, because there's a lot of Jeff Hesses on YouTube. So you've got to type in the Jeff Hess, all one word. And you can find my ping pong game there, my bubblegum, my weightlifter, tug of war, crazy numbers. My website is jeffhess.de for Deutschland.
Okay, great.
And you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. Instagram, you can see, as you said, 1,000 faces of Jeff Hess.
Awesome.
Definitely big time entertainment. There's not a lot of shows coming up. My only dates right now are summer dates, open air festivals, because still we don't know what's going to happen with the theaters. Unfortunately, the same gala that got canceled last year just got canceled in March again. So we just keep hoping and praying.
It's good to have.
I'm writing an autobiographical book to tell people all of my adventures and my crazy, worldly, wacky life. So that'll probably be the next project that people will be hearing about. So maybe by the time we do our television spot, I'll have some details on the book. Yeah.
Do you have a title for that book at all?
Not yet. Only working titles. The Wacky, Wonderful World of Jeff Hess, actor Schmack.
That's great too. Any use of alliteration, I love.
Thanks, man.
Jeff Hess, thank you so much. You are awesome. I look forward to speaking to you again soon. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Hey, it's a pleasure, DB. Hoping to catch up with you some more and find out all that you're doing as well. I want to get connected to your comedy.
I appreciate that. I look forward to doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Right after these messages, we'll be back with Welcome Back to America. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to America, everybody.
Me llaman Dan Pablo y hace más de 20 años me enamoré de una colombiana. Viajé a su país y conocí un estilo de café muy distinto, muy especial. Ahora tostamos cafés excelentes, con alturas y microclimas diferentes, resultado en una taza muy compleja y muy rica, un sabor nuevo en el mundo. Fue un éxito. And I even got to keep the girl.
Hey there, everybody. Thanks for checking out the show this week. As you know, we went to Germany with Jeff Hess and Gauri B. It was a really good time. Millie did a lot of work. That was great.
Again?
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah? What?
Can
Great.
I stand on that side today?
You want to stand on the other side? I always stand on this side.
Please. Can I stand on the other side? Okay. Ooh.
All right, bitch. All right. So, yeah, we went to Germany. Great guest. That was great. Next week, we got coming up our final episode of the season. Season 3. Hard to believe.
Hard
to believe.
Yeah.
We're going to Tucson, Arizona.
Love Arizona.
And we're going to talk to the Tucson Outlaws. We're going to talk to 3 or 4 guys from a comedy group out there in Tucson. And they seem to run things down there. Very funny guys. Dom, Roy, and Tony. And then there's another guy, Andrew.
Italian.
I don't know what they are. They're in Tucson, though. Tucson is they got a lot of people down there.
Dom, Tony.
Mondays, 10 p.m. Check it out. Next week, season 3 closer. Millie will be here. I'll be here. Welcome back to America. 10 p.m. Strong Island Television. Check it out.
Check it. I like this side. Yeah, I feel better.
Freeze frame. All right, that's
Okay.
great.